Have you ever found a coin in your pocket change and wondered if it could be worth more than just its face value? Well, there's one rare penny that could make you a small fortune if you happen to have it. Imagine finding a coin that's worth more than $800,000. Sounds too good to be true, right? But it isn't. Today, we're talking about the remarkable 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, a coin that has stunned collectors and experts alike. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself looking at your old pennies in a whole new light. Let's take a trip back in time to understand why this coin is so special. The Lincoln Wheat penny, first introduced in 1909, was designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner. It featured the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with wheat stalks framing the reverse side. This design remained in circulation for decades, but by 1956, there was a significant change in the coin's production that would eventually make this particular year's penny highly sought after. In the mid-20th century, the U.S. Mint was facing a growing demand for coins, so they ramped up production. Most pennies were made with a mint mark, signifying which mint facility produced them. However, in 1956, a rare error occurred that would make certain pennies from that year much more valuable than others. Why was the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark so special? The mint mark, which indicates where the coin was struck, typically appeared on the reverse side of the coin, near the bottom. But in some cases, certain pennies from the 1956 production year were mistakenly struck without a mint mark at all. This was likely a result of a production oversight, and as a result, these coins are extremely rare. Most of the pennies from this time period came from the Philadelphia Mint, which normally would have had the mint mark D for Denver or S for San Francisco, but these particular pennies slipped through the cracks without any indication of their origin. The absence of a mint mark on a 1956 penny is what makes it so valuable today. Collectors are always on the lookout for such rare errors, and this coin has become one of the most coveted pieces for penny enthusiasts. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare coins? Identifying a genuine 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark is easier than you might think. First, examine the coin closely. You should see the usual design of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the two wheat stalks on the back. But here's the key detail: check for the mint mark. On most pennies, there will be a small D or S on the reverse side, right below the year 1956. If you find a 1956 penny with no mint mark, congratulations, you might have a valuable coin in your hands. However, it's important to know that just because it's missing a mint mark doesn't automatically mean it's valuable. The coin must also be in good condition and free from significant damage, so take care to handle it properly. Let's go over the key details of this coin to make sure you're able to spot it correctly. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny weighs 3.11 grams, which is the standard weight for most pennies of that era. The coin is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It has a diameter of 19 millimeters, which is also standard for U.S. pennies. Now, remember, the most crucial factor for the coin's rarity is the absence of the mint mark. But other details such as the quality of the strike, the condition of the coin, and whether it's been circulated or not all play a huge role in its value. What makes the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark so valuable? The rarity of this coin lies in the small number of these particular errors that were produced and survived. When you think about it, a coin that wasn't meant to exist in the first place becomes a treasure because of that very fact. Collectors highly prize error coins, especially when they're from a popular and historically significant series like the Lincoln Wheat penny. These coins are even more desirable because they come from the iconic era of the 1950s. The 1950s were a time of economic prosperity in America, and the coin itself represents a piece of that history. With fewer examples in circulation, especially those in good condition, the value of a 1956 penny without a mint mark has skyrocketed over the years. Now, let's get to the part everyone is really curious about: how much is this coin worth? The value of a 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark varies depending on its condition. In general, the price increases significantly for coins in uncirculated or near-mint condition. If you happen to have a heavily worn 1956 penny, it might only be worth around $1 or $2. But don't be discouraged just yet. If the coin is in good condition, you might see it worth anywhere from $20 to $50. However, if the coin is in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, its value can skyrocket to over $800,000. That's right, there are reported sales of this rare penny fetching nearly $1 million at auction, especially when certified by a reputable grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) or Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS). Let's take a look at some real-world examples. A 1956 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in nearly perfect condition sold for $867,000 at a major auction in recent years. This is the kind of coin that makes collectors dream. Imagine holding that penny in your hand. While not every 1956 penny will fetch this jaw-dropping price, it's clear that the potential for making a fortune is very real, especially for well-preserved coins that are graded and authenticated by professionals. So what should you do now? If you have a 1956 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, take a moment to check its condition. If it's in decent shape, it could be worth far more than you realize. Even if it's a bit worn, there's still a chance it could fetch a significant sum. Coin collecting can be a fun and rewarding hobby, and you just might stumble upon a hidden gem that makes you richer than you ever expected. But remember, finding a rare coin like this one takes patience and attention to detail. The best advice? Keep checking your change and never overlook a penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and how to spot them, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more updates. Thanks for watching and good luck with your coin hunting. Who knows? Your next lucky find could be worth more than you ever imagined. Imagine walking into a coin shop or rummaging through your spare change only to find a penny that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for some lucky collectors, it's a reality. Today, we're diving into a truly rare and valuable coin, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. This coin is far more than just a piece of history. It's worth up to $867,000. Let's take a journey back in time and uncover the story behind this incredible penny and why it's so highly sought after. Stick around because you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse front, while the reverse showcased 2 ears of wheat, which is why it's often called the wheat penny. The coin was produced for many years, with the design changing in 1959 when the penny switched to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. But it's not just any 1957 penny we're talking about. It's the rare 1957 penny with no mint mark. Normally, U.S. pennies are stamped with a mint mark to show where they were produced, the D for Denver, the S for San Francisco, and no mint mark for the Philadelphia Mint. The 1957 no mint mark penny, however, was produced in Philadelphia, but for reasons unknown, many of these pennies were mistakenly released without the expected mint mark. This rare error is what makes the coin so valuable today. So how do you know if you've found the genuine article? It's important to be able to identify the key characteristics of this rare penny. Here's what you need to look for. Year: the penny must be dated 1957. You can easily check the date on the front of the coin. No mint mark. The key feature is the absence of the mint mark, which would normally be located beneath the year. If there's no D or S present, you may have a 1957 no mint mark penny. Design: as with all Lincoln wheat pennies, the coin will feature Lincoln's portrait on the front and the reverse will show 2 stalks of wheat. Condition: the condition of the coin significantly affects its value. A well-preserved coin in uncirculated condition will be worth far more than one that has been worn or damaged. Let's talk about the specifics of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. Here are some important details to keep in mind when evaluating the coin. Weight: the standard weight of a 1957 penny is 3.11 grams. Material: like all pennies from this time, the 1957 coin is made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Size: the coin has a diameter of 19 millimeters, which is the typical size for a penny. Errors: the most notable error is the lack of the mint mark. However, there are also other subtle errors such as double strikes or misalignments, which can make the coin even rarer and more valuable. Now, you might be wondering, why is the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark so valuable? The answer lies in its rarity and the specific circumstances surrounding its creation. In 1957, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of pennies. However, a small number of these coins were accidentally struck without the expected mint mark. At the time, this was likely overlooked, and these pennies circulated alongside others that had the proper mint marks. As a result, these no-mint mark coins were never properly recognized for their rarity until much later when collectors started to notice the anomaly. This coin is especially valuable today because of its scarcity. Although it was originally produced in large numbers, the 1957 no-mint mark penny was a rare mistake, making it highly desirable to collectors. The fact that it's almost 70 years old also adds to its appeal, as collectors often seek coins with historical significance. When it comes to the market value of this coin, it can vary depending on its condition. Here's a breakdown of how much you can expect to see for the 1957 no-mint mark penny. Worn or circulated condition: a penny that has been heavily circulated or is in poor condition will still fetch a decent price, but it will be much lower than an uncirculated one. These might sell for around $20 to $50. Uncirculated condition: an uncirculated 1957 no-mint mark penny, one that has been preserved well and shows no signs of wear, can be worth anywhere from $100 to $500. Certified coins: if the coin is graded and certified by a professional grading service, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC), the value can skyrocket. Certified coins in near-perfect condition have been known to fetch prices around $867,000. Yes, you read that right. This is the kind of price you could expect from a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition that has been professionally verified. To put things into perspective, let's look at some real auction examples. In recent years, the 1957 no-mint mark penny has been sold for impressive amounts. One 1957 no-mint mark penny, graded by PCGS as MS-67, sold for over $800,000 at a major coin auction. Another coin, in slightly lower grade but still uncirculated, fetched around $100,000 at a different auction. Even lower-grade coins in circulated condition can bring in several $100s, depending on their overall appearance and any unique errors they might have. These examples show just how much collectors are willing to pay for this rare penny. So, what can you do if you find one of these rare pennies? If you come across a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny with no mint mark, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. While it's unlikely you'll find one in mint condition, even a worn example could still be worth more than face value. Always check your change and don't dismiss a penny just because it looks old or worn. If you're lucky enough to find a 1957 no-mint mark penny in uncirculated condition, you might just have the rarest penny in your pocket, and potentially $867,000 in your future. Keep an eye on your coins, get them appraised, and you could be the next lucky person to cash in on this extraordinary piece of American history. So, don't forget to check your pennies before you spend them. Who knows? You might be holding on to a fortune without even realizing it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing coin stories, tips on rare pennies, and the latest news in the world of numismatics. Share this with your friends and family, and let's see who can find the next big coin discovery. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.